Hello geometry students, today's learning target is to use congruent statements to find the missing angles or sides. If we look at the first problem here, I have triangle ABC is congruent to triangle FED. So we learned that the first letter goes with the first letter, which tells me angle A is congruent to angle F. We know the second letter goes with the second letter, so angle B is congruent to angle E. And we know the third letter goes with the third letter, so angle C is congruent to angle D. So the first step is always to use the congruent statement. Now if I look at the picture, angle A is 5x squared plus 15. And that's equal to angle F, 95 degrees. Angle B is y plus 60, and that's equal to angle E. Now I'm missing angle E, but I do know the angles in a triangle add up to 180. So I'm going to say 35 plus 95. I'm going to use my calculator. And I get 130. Then I need to subtract that from 180 to get angle E is 50 degrees. And then for C, we know it's 2Z, and that's equal to angle D, which is 35 degrees. And now I need to solve each of these equations. So for Z, I'm going to divide by 2. And I'll get Z is 17.5. Y, I'm going to subtract 60. And Y is going to be equal to negative 10. And then for X, I'm going to subtract 15 from both sides. So 5x squared is equal to, I'm going to grab my calculator. So 95 minus 15 is 80. Divide by 5. X squared is equal to 16. So x is plus or minus the square root of 16, which is plus or minus 4. Now to check it, I'm going to substitute those numbers back in. So angle A, I'm going to do 5 times 4 squared plus 15. And when I do that on my calculator, I do get 95. Angle B is negative 10 plus 60, and that is 50. And angle C is 2 times 17.5, which is 35 degrees. So this is a nice check. So let's take a look at problem number 2. At the top I have this congruent statement. I'm highlighting in yellow. Triangle ABC is congruent to triangle FDE. So I know A goes with F. So angle A is congruent to angle F. I know B goes with D. So angle B is congruent to angle D. And I know C goes with E. So like in the previous question, I can start substituting. So in the green, we got 2Z is equal to 76. Angle B, which is 4y plus 129, is D, and I'm missing D, so I'm going to have to do 76 plus 15, because the angles in a triangle add up to 180, and I get 91. And then 180 minus 91 And again, I'm using my calculator. I get 89 degrees. So 4y plus 129 is 89. And then for f, we have x squared minus 10 is equal to 15 degrees. So this time I'll just solve for x first. So I'll add 10 to both sides. We get x squared is 25. X is plus or minus the square root of 25. So x is plus or minus 5. For b, I'm going to subtract 129 from both sides. So using my calculator, I get 4y is equal to negative 40. Divide by 4. And y is equal to negative 10. And then for z, I'm going to divide by 2. So 76 divided by 2 is 38. So z is 38. Again, to check it, I'm just going to plug in to make sure I didn't make any mistakes. So 5 squared minus 10. Doing that on my calculator, I do get 15, so that checks. For b, I'll say 4 times negative 10 plus 129. And I'm typing that in my calculator just to check. So let me do that again. I think I made a mistake. Nope, it does check. And then 2 times 38 is 76, so that also checks. Let's take a look at problem number 3. If you look at problem number 3, this time we switched. Instead of giving you angles, I gave you sides. So when we look at the congruent statement at the top, we have to match up the letters. First 2 letters, the first 2 letters. Second 2 letters, the second 2 letters, and outside letters to outside letters. So I have to say AB is the same as EF. Then I'll take the second 2 letters, BC and FD. So BC is the same as FD. And then I'll take the outside letters, AC and ED. So these are the sides that are congruent. If you want, you can mark them. So AB, I'll mark it in blue, is the same as EF. BC, I'll put 2 tick marks, is the same as FD. I'll put 2 tick marks. And then AC, I'll put 3 tick marks, is the same as ED. I'll put 3 tick marks. So then when I go to write my equations, I can say 10y minus 82 is 38. I can set the 2 red pieces equal. So 5x squared minus 292 is 28. And then 9z minus 102 is 33. So I'll solve for the z first. So let's add 102 to both sides. So 9z, so 33 plus 102 is 135. Divide by 9, and z is 15. For the red equation, I'm going to add 292 to both sides. We'll get 5x squared, 292 plus 28 is 320. Divide by 5. I'll get 64 is equal to x squared. So x is plus or minus the square root of 64, which is plus or minus 8. And then for the blue equation, we'll add 82 to both sides. So 10y is 38 plus 82 is 120. Divide by 10, and y is 12. Let's take a look at one more problem, problem number 4. So in this problem, again, we are given the sides, and I have this congruent statement that I just highlighted in yellow. So I'm going to match the first two letters to the first two letters. So AB is congruent to DE. Then BC and EF are congruent. And then the outside letters, AC and DF. So AC is 9z minus 16, and that's equal to DF, which is 20. I'm just going to solve this right away, so I'll add 16 to both sides. So 9z is 36. Divide by 9. Z is 4. Oops, put that in the wrong spot. Then BC and EF are congruent. So BC, I'll mark that with 2 tick marks. And EF, I'll mark that with 2 tick marks. So that equation would be x squared plus 7x is equal to 18. So now this is quadratic, so we're going to subtract 18 from both sides. And we'll get x squared plus 7x minus 18 is 0. Now we need to think of two numbers that multiply to negative 18 and add to 7. So the two numbers that multiply to negative 18 are negative 9 and positive 2. So then this factors to x minus 9 times x plus 2 is 0. Then you set both parts equal to 0, so x minus 9 is 0, or x plus 2 is 0. So you add 9, so x is equal to 9. Subtract 2 on the other equation, so x is equal to negative 2. So there are two answers for x. And then for A, B, and D, E, this is A, B, I'll mark it with 3 tick marks. And D, E is the 22. Scroll up a little bit so we can see that. So 7y minus 55 is 22. We'll add 55 to both sides. 7y is 77. Divide by 7. And you get y is 11.